So this is for you, Wyatt. We're a little jealous because you're playing in the snow and we are here doing grammar. So lucky you. And here we are. Okay, anyway, if you have a post-it in your stuff, I recommend marking this page sentence openers because they're all here, 1 through 6. If you don't have a post-it, you can just dog ear it like Ellie did last time if you want, just hold it down the corner. But this is a good page to refer back to. Now I think you guys are using all of them in the grammar book. I don't think they're all on your checklist yet. Maybe they are. Almost all. Anyway, here they are. Subject obviously starts with the subject. Mowgli rested after a long swim. Sometimes there's an article or an adjective before it, but that's considered a subject opener. Number 1. Number 2, prepositional. This is a prepositional phrase. Notice there's 2 prepositional phrases in a row. So after a long swim, in the jungle pool, Mowgli rested. So the comma rule is 5 or more, or if there's 2 in a row, like this one. But that starts with a prepositional phrase. Number 3 is the ly. Certainly, Mowgli rested after his long swim. So this is when you use a comma. That's a giant comma, by the way. You probably know that. If the adverb modifies the whole sentence, that means if it's explaining the whole sentence, then you need a comma. And this is that little test. It was blank that blank. So if you can say it was certain that Mowgli rested after his long swim. It's not a great sentence, but it does work. It was certain that he rested. So because that works in that little test, you're going to use a comma for this one. And then our favorite ing, the thing after the comma needs to be the thing doing the ing. You guys remember that one? Okay. Swimming for many hours. Mowgli was tired and rested. So Mowgli is the thing doing the swinging. Swinging. There you go. How about swimming? Mowgli's the one doing the swimming. I'm tired, you guys. This is the hard class because it's the hardest one and it's the last one of the day. You guys understand. Okay. So, comma after the ing opening. It's a participle. Even though it looks like a verb, it's not. It's functioning as a participle here. And then we've got the clausal. That's your Asia word. After he swam in the jungle pool, Mowgli rested. And do you remember me telling you there's more words now than the www.asia.b? And in my other class, John Tucker, you know who he is? He came up with the acronym TAB-WOO. Tab.woo-woo. A in tab is after. That's why that one works. So after actually is a clausal opener. And then you do use a comma, especially when it comes first. So adverb clause, comma, main clause. And then the VSS, that's the easiest one. Very short sentence. The swim exhausted Mowgli. And then there's a note down here before you turn the page. This is good to read. Sometimes it appears that more than one sentence opener begins a sentence. So sometimes there's more than one. When this happens, place a comma after the last opener. Number the sentence opener based on the first word of the sentence. For example, this part here, after he swam, and the prepositional phrase in the jungle pool come before the main clause Mowgli rested. So this is technically a clausal and a prepositional. After he swam because of that verb swam. So there's 2 different openers in a row. So you would just count the first one basically and put a comma after the last one. And then it says place a comma after the word pool, label sentence number 5 because the sentence begins with a clause. Any questions about that? Just a quick review. There's a little practice back here. Hold on, I gotta move this out of the way. And then X out of that. Okay, there we go. We'll just say these, you don't have to write them, but this is your base sentence right here. This is a subject opener. Mowgli upset the animals when he stared at them during their play. That's the subject opener. How can you use that basic sentence and come up with a prepositional opener? Same sentence, but change the beginning of it. Move things around a little bit.
Maybe for the prepositional, we could do during their play,
Yep. So during is a preposition. So you could start with during their play, Mowgli upset the animals when he stared at them. That would work. You can write it if you want. You don't have to write it. What about an ly for you, Miles? How would you add an ly opener to that sentence? Somethingly, Mowgli upset the animals when he stared at them during their play. So he was basically disrupting the play. So you could say something like disruptively, but you could say rudely, something like that. Rudely, Mowgli upset the animals. Can you think of any others?
It's disrespectful.
Yes, disrespectfully. That would be a good one. Disrespectfully, Mowgli upset the others while he stared. Yep, any of those would work. Good. Okay, we'll just go back and forth. How about Ellie? How about an ing?
Staring at the animals, Mowgli upset them.
Yes, good. So staring is the ing. Staring at the animals, comma, Mowgli upset them. So Mowgli's the one doing the staring. Clausal is the Asia. I don't know where that other list of clausal words went. Is that what you're looking for? Oh,
I think it was last week.
it's on 61. So tab woo woo. So tab T would be than, after, before, that's tab. And then whenever, until, whereas, unless.
Okay, while the animals play, Mowgli upset them is loose.
Yeah,
Or
you could do that either way. You could change it up like that, yeah. While they were at play, I think they were in a play, so maybe like while the play was happening or something like that. That's a good one, that would work. Or let's see. As they were performing their play, Mowgli upset the animals, that would work too. And VSS, what do you think, Ellie?
Mowgli stared at the animals.
Yeah, Mowgli stared at the animals. Yeah, that would work. It's 2 to 5. Do you have one, Miles? The VSS? Could you do a 2-word sentence? Uh-huh. Subject and verb. What was Mowgli doing?
Mowgli stared.
There you go. Mowgli stared. That would work. Mowgli stared. Okay, you don't have to write those down. We can keep going. Let's go to 87. This we do need to do. So how about Miles? How about you read it?
Suddenly, Bagheera added, I have an idea that might work. From the men's hut in the village, take some of the red flower, which glows brightly. He knew its potential.
Okay, good. You said glows automatically, even though it says glow. But you're right, it should be glows, so let's fix it. That's gonna be a usage. Potential, that's like their capability. Okay. Apostrophes, Ellie, do you see where those go?
Names,
Yep,
and then rose.
no, it's actually one we're gonna take out.
Oh, it's.
Yeah, it's potential. It's is one of those words that doesn't require it when it's possessive.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, end marks, that's a little hard to find right now, so let's come back to that. Quotation marks, do you know where the speaking parts are, Miles?
I have an idea.
Yep.
Uh,
When does he stop talking?
directly.
Yep, good. Okay, so that will help with the end marks, because that's the end of what he says. So period goes after brightly and then after potential. So you got those end marks. How about commas? What do you think, Ellie?
After N,
Yep, because that's the attribution.
we take one out.
Yes, take that one out.
After rose,
Yep. Ready?
and then after.
Yeah, good. You got it. Flower. Capitals, that's pretty easy. You'll do that. One, two, three, four. I'm missing something. Q. Ah, yes, thank you. And then it's not gonna be at the beginning this time, actually. They're suggesting in this book that after the character speaks, he knew his potential should be a new paragraph, even though it doesn't seem like it. But because the character's finished talking, and if you look back on the pages before, he's moving on to, and if you look ahead, so we're gonna put the paragraph symbol right here at he. So when you guys write this, make sure you indent for he knew its potential, okay? Now, this other column is tricky because, in my other class, we decided it was easier to find the clauses first. By the way, well, we could do openers. How about Miles? There's an opener, there's two of them. Yeah, yes, 3 LY, and then the other opener isn't until here after the quote. He knew its potential.
VSS.
Oh, right.
So,
You know what? They messed up in handwriting because it's his subject. You're right. They're hard. That's a number 6. Yes, BSS. Good catch. Because I did this page with another class and I did not catch that. Nice. All right. So here's where it's weird. I don't know. What do you think, Ellie? Should we find subject verb first or clauses? What do you want to do next?
well, let's do subject.
Okay.
Gear added,
Okay.
I,
Yep.
have,
Yes.
and then. Take.
Take is the verb.
and
Oh.
then Huts. That's right.
Huts. Are you saying huts is the noun?
Yeah, Huts is the subject.
No, this one's tricky. This is implied.
Okay, so,
Remember that? So he's
Yeah.
talking to somebody.
okay, so there's no subject.
There is, but what is it when it's implied? Like when it's a demand
Oh, is it?
or a
like,
command?
you?
Yes. So in parentheses, right before take, we need to write in you. And that is the subject. That's a tricky one. Okay, and then there's actually two more, and this is where it might have been helpful to have the clauses. Because that clause has a subject verb pair. And the who which clause.
Right, well, one of them is me, right,
That too, yeah. He and knew, yeah, that works.
and then that might,
That might, actually, it's that might work. So that becomes a subject for the that clause and then might work.
and then which group?
And then which clause, good. For the who which clause. Okay. So now the that clause, Miles,
That to work,
that to work, good. How about you do the who which clause too?
which was brightly.
Which close brightly. W/W. And the main clauses. I'm gonna make you do them all. And then you can tell me the prepositional phrases.
Clauses.
Main clauses. So they all have subject verb pair and they do not include any of the other clauses. Read that through.
Would be figure added.
Yes, I heard you almost say suddenly. It does not include suddenly, so you were correct. Just Bagheera added is a clause, a main clause. Three more actually.
Then there is. I have an idea.
Yep, I have an idea.
From the men's hut in the village.
No, because that's gonna be from the men's huts. Is a preposition
Yeah.
phrase, so not that. Not in the village.
You take some of their red flour,
Yes,
you know its potential.
yes, good. You got it. Good job. Okay, prepositional phrases.
From men's huts
Yes,
in the village
yes,
and of their red flour.
and of their red flower. Good. Or, phew. Did we do it? We did it. That wasn't so bad. Sometimes if it helps you to find the clauses first and then the subject verb pair, that's okay. Mix it up if you need to. Is there anything you guys are finding that you're getting stuck on when you're doing homework? Like trips you up sometimes? No, not really? Okay. Sometimes they just throw in those implied subjects or noun of direct address and they just throw one in there just to throw you off, but. Okay, you can write your sentence. Right. Okay, you guys have been working on your research paper. We're gonna finish up the next two paragraphs. So go ahead and get out your big white page that you've been working on. I think, and I saw yours, Ellie. I don't know if you officially turned it in yet. Oh, you did, cool. And then you basically both wrote like the initial part of their early life. But what I want to talk to you about really quick, when you start out, okay, let me back up. You remember last year when we did the 5 paragraphs and you had the introduction and the conclusion? That kind of ties everything together. And we will eventually do that, but you don't have to do that for this paper. But you will need to make it clear in the beginning of your first paragraph what is so important about the person you're writing about, like what made them famous, rather than just saying their name and when they're born, which is also a good way to start out. But I think it would be really important to have like a attention getter where you say, did you know, blah, 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 or the name is best known or most famously known because of, or because blank, or because of, you can still say that, but not counted as a clause, but I recommend that for your first paragraph. Does that make sense? So you'll add that to your first paragraph. Because both of you kind of started with when they were born and where they were born, and that's okay, but it needs to be like a pal, like a, hey, this person is famous for this. And then they were born on da da da, and this is their early life. Okay. So you're writing about Thomas Jefferson, and I didn't know your person.
Yeah, me either until I looked her up.
And what is she? Tell me her name first.
Rose O'Neill, and she's like, forgot which war she was in, but she was like a Confederate spy. So she
A spy. That's right. Okay. Yeah, because you didn't mention it in the first paragraph. That's why I was like, maybe we need to say something in the first sentence. Yeah, that's cool. She was a spy.
But during the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Revolutionary,
The
or was it
Confederate-
civil?
and
Oh wait, no, it was a civil war.
It was
Confederate.
civil?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Confederate and-
yeah, that was civil. So, and she was on the Confederate side,
Yeah.
which is the South, right?
Yeah, it's the South. So that's
that was
So she was spying on the North,
the Union. Yeah.
on the Union, which were the
Interesting.
Patriots, right? So I wonder, so did she disguise herself? Was she like a,
I
like
don't
a,
really know.
Oh, you haven't finished it? Okay. Well, you'll probably find out today, because you're gonna do 2 more topics today for your paragraphs, because I think it's a total of 3, yes. So, let's, I'm trying to decide which to start with here. I think what I'll show you is the bibliography, and then I'll give you time to just work on that so you can catch up with, 2 and 3, and that way Wyatt doesn't have to scrub through all this recording. But on the bibliography, go ahead and open your laptop if you have it. Yes.
So I noticed that there is the www.asia.me. Can I have because clause as
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. They combined it back. So you only have 5 dress ups now. So you can either choose because or one of the other ones. That's a good point. Yep, and I think it's like that for the rest of the book. So that's kind of nice. Good question. All right. Let me pull up a document like this. Okay, so let me make sure I share this so Wyatt can see this. If you have your document, your paragraph, you can pull yours up. I can return it to you too if you need me to. Okay. Can you edit? I think I have to return it to you. Hold on, let me do that really quick. We did this last year. So you're probably going to remember as I'm doing this, and maybe you already remember without me showing you. But let me get to yours really quick. Okay, yours is here. So I didn't put a grade on it yet, but I'm just going to return it so you can edit because I still see it too on my end. So if you refresh, you should have it. Go to the end of your paragraph. This is a long one, but go. Do you remember Serena? Do you remember? Yeah, you guys knew her last year. This is her old paper. So if you go to the end of your paragraph and just enter a couple of times so it's down past your paragraph, that'll eventually put it on its own page. And you're going to go to the bar that says tools or the little tab here. When you click tools, you'll see citations. Click that. And I'm recording this so you can watch it later, or you can just remember how we did it. When you click citations, it opens up this little sidebar. You want to keep it on MLA 8th edition. That's typically what most high schools and colleges use. So I just want to keep it on that. And then click add citation source. And then you're going to select website because we all just use websites for this. Access by website. And then you've got your search with URL. Now I recommend you open that Google Doc. Oops, that's a different class. This one, because that way you can just literally cut and paste your links that you used into, so let's say for you, I would just copy that first one and go back to your document, and then where it says search with URL, just paste in there. Okay, and then search. No results. Is that what you got too?
I don't think I used that.
Oh, good.
Britannica.
You didn't use the Britannica? Or you
No,
did?
I didn't. So that's the one I pasted.
Not the kids one? Or was it the kids one?
It's not, but the adult one had more information.
Okay. I don't know why it's not letting me. Ay.
Oh yeah, so instead of the kids Britannica, I used the
Got it. Let me see if I can do it with you, just so, oh yeah, because you have 4 here, huh? Is it the next one down? Battlefields.org, not that one. Maybe it's not in here. Oh. Oh, okay. So basically, let me see if I can show you on the Zoom, because this will be for Wyatt also. So let me copy. Let's see if this will work. It should pull up what it has. So does it look something like that? I know you're on Britannica, but where it shows the URL, published year, this one says missing, access date is there. It has the title and the website title. So whatever information it pops up for you, it's already generating that for you. And then you would click continue. And then it gives you the boxes to fill in the missing information. But guess what? I'm not going to make you do that because most of the time, the websites that don't have it, you're not going to be able to find it anyway. So you're just going to go down to add citation source, and then it condenses it into a nice little style, a format for your bibliography. And then you would add another one. So click back on add citation source. Again, website, go to that Google Doc, copy another link that you put in here. Just go back and forth between the two Google Docs, and then you'll paste it and search. Did that one not work for you? So if it doesn't work like this is where it gets tricky. So I can show you what to do if that happens.
Well, the one that I did, which was the Library of Congress.
That one worked? Okay, good. Let's just stick with the ones that are working right now. I can delete this. Okay. Yeah, you must have found different ones than what you have here, which is okay. Because this one looks like it's Bibliomania.
No, I didn't use one of the sources.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one, because I had too many sources.
Yeah, you did. Okay. So basically what happens if you don't have any information, if it says cite manually. Are you on this doc with me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It said anonymous, or yeah, I was like, who is that? Is that you? Okay. Then you would go to the actual, like this one here. Just go to it. You would have to type in manually the information, and this happens, this might happen to you, Miles, or Wyatt. This is weird. Have you seen this one like this?
Yeah. So I remember what I was planning to do is I was gonna use that one just for like quotes and like additional extra information, just like to make it a bit more full.
Okay.
And then the other 3, I'm gonna be like my official.
Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense. You don't have to have quotes in this one, but if you have this and you find some quotes, go for it. That's cool. But you would just it looks like this would be the name of the site, Special Collections Library, Duke University. This would be the title of this particular article, I guess you would call it. And then you don't really have any dates on here, I don't think. So when you enter the information manually, just find what you can on the website and then leave the rest blank. And it'll just fill it in the way it's supposed to be. So once you're done with that, the blue button at the bottom, insert works cited, is what you will click after you've entered in all the work that you're going to add. Then it'll pop it in there for you in the right format, but it'll say works cited, and that's where you change that to bibliography. You guys remember that from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Constitution paper. Okay, cool. All right, that's what I was going to show you for the bibliography page. And once you're done typing your other two paragraphs, then you'll obviously adjust it so the bibliography is at the top of the next blank page. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go back to, do you guys have any questions about that? Okay. Your white page. Your big white page that you've been taking notes on. Go ahead and set up the back with Roman numeral 2, and then you will need a second white page for Roman numeral 3. So I have extra if you need it, but go ahead and set this one up. On the back here, this is going to be Roman numeral 2. 1 through 5, and then 1 through 7 on the fused. Five is optional, I think is what we had, yeah. Used is Roman numeral 2, and it's 1 through 7 with pleasure. And you guys already made your list of possible topics, right? On the front, okay. Obviously the middle of your paper, since it's such a short paper, it would be good to focus on what made them famous. And then your last paragraph can be their legacy or how they died, if that's unusual or interesting. But you're gonna decide on your next two topics for your second and third paragraphs. What do you think you'll do for your second topic?
I think, accomplishments.
Accomplishments, that's a good one. Yep,
Yeah, same.
accomplishments, okay. Now, did she win any awards that you know of or anything, or are you still trying to figure out what she did?
I don't think so, because, I mean, eventually the Confederate side was defeated, so I
Yeah.
don't know if she would have won any awards.
Yeah,
for that, but
true.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm curious about her training. You know what I mean? Like, how did she become a spy?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you talked about it yet in the first paragraph, is more like her background,
Yeah.
right? So I would focus on like her training and maybe her, I guess you would call it a career, a spy career.
Okay.
I wonder if she died, if she got caught.
Oh, she drowned.
Oh, that is interesting. Do you know what, like in the middle of a battle, or do you know
I
what?
think I could be wrong. I think she fell off a bridge. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
interesting.
Something random with that.
Okay, so you'll do some research on that.
Yeah.
And obviously you do the same thing. You're looking under your A article, B article, C article, and gather your information and make your fused. Okay, you got it. And then if you need another piece of white paper for your number 3, I have extra. Do you guys need one?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So you'll do number 3 on this one. And that's probably gonna be the death and legacy, probably for you, maybe for your, yeah. Interesting. Curious what you're gonna find out. So I'm just gonna give you guys time in class to, you're welcome to work on this. And I'm gonna turn off the recording because we're just gonna be working now. Your job is to get through Roman numeral 2 and 3 and both fused 2 and 3. And then your homework will be writing 2 more paragraphs plus the bibliography this week. All right, so I'm gonna turn this thing off now.